cyber dopamine here. Size seriously does not matter, and I mean that. Because this PSP is playing Black Myth Wukong at 90 frames per second. It's a GPD Win4, and it's a handheld that packs a freaking punch. But this device, it was sent to me from Whatgeek, and they sell keyboards, but they're stepping into the handheld market. And when it comes to these foreign handhelds, a lot of the time it's better to go through third-party retailers because in many cases they have better customer service and offer the same price. And so just a heads up, I'm not paid for this. And whatever I say on here is the complete truth, right? No biased opinions. Anyways, the first thing I want to talk about is the size, right? The portability of it. It is so small. Look at this next to a ROG Ally X. Okay, here's a Legion Go and then the Steam Deck. This thing is tiny. It's a little brother. But this little brother has so much of what the older brothers want. I'll explain that to you. But this mini form factor is genuinely portable. It can fit inside your pocket and you can take it wherever you want to go. The problem though is this thing is extremely heavy. It's packing some beefy internals for its size, and so that weight and that thickness is there, very prominent. But on the flip side, it's got a very high durability. This thing is built like a tank, literally, like a mini tank. And you can feel comfortable, at least I feel comfortable tossing it on the couch, tossing it in the bag, just dropping it in the bag. I don't really have that second guess feeling that I might damage this handheld because of the way it's built. There's a ton of metal, right? It's extremely thick. And the next thing I wanted to talk about is the performance. So this is running an AMD Ryzen 8840U, and it's got 32 gigabytes of RAM. So this thing packs a punch. And on Black Myth Wukong, I'm getting around like 80 frames per second on average. It depends, like the desert area, I get like 70, but the snow area is 90. And then like the green area for some reason is like 70 again. But it runs so amazing. And then Grand Theft Auto 5, I've got it maxed out with all those mods and those texture packs and everything. I'm getting 90 frames per second on ultra graphics. I put it up to 30 watts for these games. And then of course, because it's running on Windows, you have FrameGen. And FrameGen works really well on this device. So the big part about this device is the keyboard. This one was like really hard for me to get used to when I first started playing on this device, simply because the touchscreen keyboard has swipe on it. And it's part of my muscle memory to type really fast on those keyboards. And so when you slide this thing up, the keyboard itself is a lot less forgiving than the on-screen keyboard, but it's more fun. It's more of a challenge. And then as I've used it more and more and more, what I've come to find is that, a big thing is, games with controller support and games without controller support. If I'm playing Escape from Tarkov or Squad, I don't have to worry about missing controls. I can play any single PC game that I want comfortably with this device because I can actually press K for voice chat. I can press T to spot somebody. Like there's all these little things that you can't do on a controller set, but this device can do perfectly. And for real world Windows use, I don't really use it that much. I know a lot of people love keyboards. I just personally, whatever. The next thing I wanted to talk about is this screen. So this display, it's 1080p, but it's 60 hertz. And so it stings a little bit because I'm used to that 144 hertz screen or a 90 hertz screen on the Steam Deck. But aside from that, it's 1080p. The screen's, something too crazy. It's very small. And with smallness comes less immersion in the games that you play. So if I'm playing Black Myth Wukong on a Legion Go, I feel like I'm in that world. Same with the Steam Deck or an Ally. With this device, I constantly am aware that I'm playing on a tiny little handheld. Even with headphones on, I can't get fully immersed in the game as much as the other devices. But I can play the game just fine, if not better than some handhelds. So it's like, how do you play your games, right? Do you care about immersion? Do you care about getting lost in the world? If that's not your biggest thing to worry about, then this screen's like really fun to play with. And it's also fun playing on a small device. By the way, subscribe if you want to. You do you. But if you like this stuff and you want more, you know what to do. The next thing is the cooling. This device, for how small it is, it never gets that hot. I will clock this thing to 30 watt TDP and I'll play games on it for many hours while I'm charging, and the device doesn't get hot in my hands, which is really weird. I don't know how it does that, but maybe because the device is so thick that heat is dissipating elsewhere instead of where I'm holding it. But I will say though, I noticed the sound of the fan far more than any other handheld I've ever owned. This singular fan is extremely loud. So loud that when I am playing in bed and my girlfriend's trying to sleep, it keeps her awake. She's gotten used to it. It's somewhat of a white noise sound. But if you're playing and you're trying to be quiet and the sound's turned down all the way, that fan is blasting. And so it's not too stealthy. It is loud. And the next problem I have with the cooling is that you don't have much lift. And so what happens is if you set it on a table, or for me on the bed, there's no airflow going into the fans. So if you want to set this device down, you got to put it down like this, or you have to turn the device off so the fans can stop, therefore it doesn't overheat. That's a real valid thing. Even just setting it here on the grass before I put to set the phone up, the grass was getting it inside of it. And with an Ally, I've done that with the Legion Go and stuff. It doesn't happen like that. It's in a very vulnerable place. And so you got to be very careful with that. Take a look at the ports though. You've got Oculink, which is so sick. You've got USB-C 4, another one on the very bottom. And then you've got on the left side, micro SD card. And then you can switch this for like mouse and keyboard or controller. I've actually never taken it off of controller. I can do everything on Windows and in gaming just on the controller mode alone. And then on the right side, there's like a little reset button, which is kind of fun. I've never used it though. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the audio on this handheld. What I've come to find is that it lacks the low frequencies, and the mids and the highs tend to distort when you turn up the volume. The speakers are good. I can't complain. Like, they do the job really well. They're certainly not the best, and you can tell they are small speakers. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about is software. So, Legion Go has Legion Space, ROG Ally has Armory Crate, and this has motion assistant. This is what it looks like. And for a lot of people, this might be super foreign. As ugly as it looks and as non-user friendly as it looks, it's actually extremely practical as I've come to use it more and more and more. You can see right here, I can set my wattage right here, just one click of a button. And then I have little categories where I can go and do things. But what I've done is if you go over here to hotkeys, you can set hotkeys. So as you can see, I've custom TDP1 is up on the keyboard and then so on, right? So it's actually pretty simple, pretty practical, but it just doesn't look pretty at all. And I mean, there's not much I could say. You've got a ton of little settings in here. You can clock anything how you want to. So if you're into this stuff, you would have a blast, but I mean, I've had fun with it. It's just not pretty to look at, but hey, at least you got themes, right? I think the big question is like real world in the whole handheld market. Who is this for? Would you want to get it? Here's my answer. This is literally a laptop. I mean, if you look at it, you slide up the keyboard, you have the keyboard right here. Your trackpad is this. So this is full on a laptop with joysticks and D-pad. Seriously, I mean, that's what it is. And so if you're a PC gamer, I think this is a really good device because Escape from Tarkov, you need a lot of hotkeys. The controller support's bad. Same with a lot of other PC games. With this and the keyboard, you can play anything you want. And then you've got Oculink. And so you can really just bump this thing up with an eGPU and a nice monitor. And I mean, I think it's really fun. But I don't think this is the go-to handheld for someone that just wants to chill and play games. This is more for somebody that's a fanatic with laptops and loves handhelds and wants the best of both worlds, because it's not a casual device. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about was the battery. So the battery it's pretty weak, if I'm being honest here. I'll get about 45 minutes on 30 watts on Black Myth Wukong, and then I'll get about like an hour and a half at around like 8 watts when I'm using Windows. And so it does the job, it's just not reliable. You're gonna need to bring a charger with you everywhere you go. I'll tell you that. But with a small form factor, you can afford to bring a charger. But my real world experience with this device is I play on it for fun. I don't play on it to play on it, if that makes any sense. It doesn't. But what I mean is, like, with all the other handhelds I have sitting on my shelf, there's a couple other I would pick over this, except for games that need a lot of hotkeys, games that don't have full controller support, real PC games. This is my go-to 100% because of that keyboard. And I also think when I get my whole eGPU set up and running, this will be the handheld I'm going to use because of the OcuLink with it. I think it takes a certain personality to like a small AAA gaming Windows handheld, because for me, I like to get immersed in the game that I'm playing. For you, you might have a different mentality on how you play games. And so this could be for you more than it is for me. But let alone, this device is a lot of fun. It's cute. And it's like, it is dopamine. It's just interesting and it's new, innovative, and it feels premium. And so it's cool. It's cool to play with. Anyways, thanks for taking the time. Cyber Dopamine out.